Today is a special Bald for Bucks themed episode. We'll cover the preparations of the event, the people that made it happen, and the entire event itself.
All that and more on this week's Kram.
Welcome to this week's Kram. This is Brandon Dillon.
And I'm Jose Jeff. We want to start off with a huge thank you to everyone who participated in yesterday's Bald for Bucks event. This Rampart community is strong together, and yesterday you proved it.
We'll start today with a look at all the preparations that went to this event behind the scenes.
Landon Lee Jackson has the story.
Bald for Bucks is an important event here at Rampart. We took a deeper look behind the scenes.
Bald for Bucks is one of the most important days for Rampart, but not many people know what plans are in place to make this special day happen. And on Wednesday, Stuco and some signed-up volunteers had to stay up late to ensure everything would go smoothly the next day. Kram dived deeper into the setup.
So the funding really comes from Student Council, so they raise money throughout the year with all sorts of different events, and some of that is used towards today's preparation. Big things like they do fundraisers, right, at, dine-in nights, things like that with local restaurants. And that sometimes will come to Bald for Bucks as like a organization and preparation for the assembly, but then it'll also go towards behind the setup and everything else. But other than that, it's not a huge funding because we try to keep the money all going towards Bald for Bucks.
So Bald for Bucks is undoubtedly our biggest event of the year. There's so much that goes into it that I don't think a lot of people understand. Obviously, Student Council plays a huge part in it, but we really are a team. There's a lot of us on the Bald for Bucks team, as Mr. Anderson calls it. Ms. Turnquist handles all the sign-ups and all the kind of getting all the people on board. Flo handles all of the Hero Child stuff. Mr. Anderson reaches out to our feeder schools, elementary, middle schools. But the big thing that Student Council does is really the assembly. We handle a lot of the fundraising. We handle a lot of the, kind of the food nights and the different things that happen throughout the course of the Bald for Bucks week. One of the coolest things about the Bald for Bucks committee in Student Council is that it's a big committee, but it also comes with a lot of minds, a lot of opinions, a lot of differences, right? And when you have a lot of people on your team, you got to find common ground. So what's been really cool about it this year is Ella Harrison is our chair, Elia Pryor is our co-chair. So they are a really great team. So the Bald for Bucks committee in Student Council has been led by two really powerful students with great ideas that can work together, can communicate really well.
So planning starts a little bit before, just trying to figure out where we're gonna have everything at for setup. And then when it comes to setup, we divide and conquer that way by going some people in the commons, some people in the gym, hanging up posters. It's just a lot of small things that we have to consider when setting up. I do think so. People contribute a lot into setup. We make sure everyone's doing something. If someone's not doing something, they go find someone to help and help out just where it's needed, and it's a really nice way we can get stuff done.
One of our hardest things is, we are in the gym and sports get the priority of the gym, and so we have to set up when, sports practices end, which keeps us here pretty late. It all, this year it got moved to a Thursday instead of a Friday because of our elementary school feeders don't have school on Friday, and we can't have a Bald for Bucks without them, so we move it to Thursday to make sure our full community is here. So there's lots of details that year to year can get changed or bumped around. I think our biggest overall challenge this year is just finding the balance between how to make this a celebration and also how to make it something where we can remember Cora, remember our hero child. This one's different because it hits really close to home for a lot of people. I think that's what makes it really special too.
I think for me, the most important thing that Bald for Bucks represents to me is just this ability to say we're all with you. To anybody who's fighting cancer, that bald is beautiful. We're here together to support you. I think that's the coolest part for me around shaving our heads. I think for Rampart as a whole, it's just a really important event, special time for us to come together and do something bigger than ourselves and support our community and support anyone who's been touched by cancer.
Thank you once again to our wonderful Stuco and volunteers who signed up to make this day special. We hope that everyone who participated had a wonderful time, and we will hopefully see you again next year. Now, this has been Lindley Jackson, reporting for Kram.
Thanks to the Student Council for all your effort in making this such a great day.
Student Council isn't alone. The Rampart community has a lot of partners and sponsors at the local and national level that helps us with the event.
Rogan Harris has the story.
Every year for Bald for Bucks, it wouldn't be possible without our sponsors. Let's take a deeper look. Bald for Bucks carries a significance that cannot go unrecognized. Sponsors from small to large businesses help Rampart make the magic happen for a reason.
Actually, I had an employee, Kaylee Gagnon, who worked for me 4 years ago, and she asked me to get involved in this. So I got involved with Bald for Bucks, and I met Greg Anderson. Greg and I have become friends. As long as he's part of this, I'll be a part of it.
Captain Drips is here because just to spread awareness and make sure that we're getting lots of money for cancer awareness.
I am here today to support our friend Cora and to support the Bald for Bucks movement.
A lot of thought goes into preparation.
So each year we line up companies that are willing to be a part of our Bald for Bucks community. In addition to our sponsors, we also had BCU, Blood Cancer United, join us on stage, and the National Bone Marrow Donor Program join us on stage as well.
Vendors have their own personal reasons for participating.
Kaylee had a tumor, and actually one of my other managers, her daughter was the first participant in Bald for Bucks. Her daughter was the first hero child. Kaylee has become a friend. She's going to school at CSU now.
Well, this means a lot to me because I wasn't able to be there for my aunt. I wasn't able to be there for my uncle when he passed away because I was living here and they were in Miami. So any way I can help, Brent. I feel connected, you know what I mean?
I love this event and I love being part of this and the cause, so I will always be part of this as long as I'm with Canes.
Lastly, Ms. Dasher has an important announcement from Captain Drips.
Now through April 3rd, if you donate through Captain Drips, a portion of it will go to Bald for Bucks. And then on April 4th, she actually has classes that you can sign up for from 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 6 o'clock. And if you donate or anything that is, any classes or anything that's bought during that time, a portion of it will go for Bald for Bucks.
Thank you to all of our sponsors who were at the event, and to those who assisted alongside them. This has been Rogan Harris reporting for KRAM.
Thanks to all our Bald for Bucks partners.
It's not just groups and organizations. You have individuals that donate their time and effort. We took a look at one of them, who you probably know as the Hat Lady. Brendan Dillon found out more.
I took a look at all the hard work the Hat Lady goes through to make these wonderful hats for the Bald for Bucks participants.
As you can see, during Bald for Bucks, many people, after the event is over, have crocheted beanies on, made by our wonderful volunteer, Diane Ziegler, also known as the Hat Lady. She spends many hours creating them and enjoys it very much and is honored to do it for our school.
What inspired me to do this was Greg Anderson. I was a daycare provider and I had his 2 children. And when he started Bald for Bucks at Rampart, I said, I wonder what I could do. And then in 2014, I started making hats. I love seeing the smile on their faces and picking out things, and just the atmosphere, the environment is fantastic. I do this every day just for something to do. I'm at a 55 and older, and they have a place called Stitches, and we make I make hats when I sit there with them.
Throughout the school, the students who volunteered for the event have the ability to gain their own hat, and they all seem to really like their hats very much.
I really like how just it keeps you warm, because right after you go bald, your head gets really cold really easy. So it's been keeping me warm all day, and I really like that. I did Bald for Bucks last year, and I got a hat then too. So I was actually really looking forward to getting another one this year when I shaved my head again, because they're just so nice and reliable. I still use that one a lot.
I like it. It's very comfortable, very soft, and you need something to keep it warm.
I love this hat. It is probably the best hat I've ever had. It's so comfortable. I love the colors on it. I feel like she did a really great job of making different sizes for everybody so that everybody could be included. And yeah, I just think it's super cool, and it's going to be an amazing way to remember Bald for Bucks this year.
I also love the hat. It's very soft and it's really warm, and I just love the colors, and it's really like stretchy and nicely made. It's really well made.
I like the hat very much, but it also feels really weird on it. My favorite part is the color of it. It really like emphasizes it.
Probably say just that it's a memory of Bald for Bucks. It's a memory for all of us that whenever we wear this hat or we take it out and look at it, that we'll remember shaving our heads or cutting our hair. So I think that's just really cool and really special. It's like a good memento.
My favorite part about this hat specifically is the colors. I feel like it's really representative of my personality. And it's also like Sophia's had a great memory of Bald for Bucks and Cora.
We're glad that we have a volunteer here who is willing to spend her precious time crocheting hats for students that participate in this amazing event. And we are most excited for her to come back next year and make us some amazing headwear for us again. This has been Brandon Dillon reporting for Kram.
Thanks. He'll always be the hat lady to us.
Before we go to the event coverage, we wanted to take a look at a few groups that help us raise funds in the lead up to the event.
Groups like the Foreign Language Club make bracelets. Staff members dye their hair to raise class funds, and Stuco hosts the annual dodgeball tournament and has food nights at local restaurants.
Ariano Lechuga took a closer look.
With the 2026 edition of Bald for Bucks, many clubs come together to support this event. Our foreign cultures clubs play an integral role in supporting the assembly.
With this year's reintroduction of Bald for Bucks, school spirit at Rampart is reaching new heights. It's a tradition of togetherness where clubs across the school come together to raise funds and awareness in the fight against cancer. Mr. Kennard gave us an overview of the process.
Well, this is actually the first time we decided to do this. We were just thinking what would be a cool way to gather some money and do some fundraising. So we said maybe we should do some bracelets and add some words in Spanish. And then we kind of share that with other clubs within the world language department, which is we have the French club, the Chinese club, and Spanish. And yeah, so it's basically a donation that any student can give from $3 to $5 or anything they want to donate, and they get some swag, right?
The students in the clubs also play an important role in overseeing the production and sales of the product.
We got a lot of help from different classes, especially the French class and the Spanish class.
It was really just going to the club during lunch like we normally do, and then we would just make bracelets instead of doing other things that we would normally do during the club.
So like I said, like on Fridays we meet, and I just like help tell people how to make the bracelets. I feel like I've always wanted to do something to like help and be involved in Bald for Bucks, and this year we saw an opportunity after talking to Mr. Kennard and the French teacher, Ms. Tornquist. This year was like closer to Rampart, so yeah, we just wanted to help out.
Staff members are also stepping up in their own way. We interviewed Mr. Mooring and Mr. McFarlane to see how they are contributing to this year's goal.
We talked about, where else could you go bald besides your head? And we were like, oh, they could wax our legs. So we offered our students that. So it just became a thing that we first jokingly suggested, and then we just said, let's do it.
I was hired at Rampart 18 years ago. I've done Bald for Bucks all 18 years, but I started dyeing my second year. So I guess 17 years I've dyed my hair for. I just do it because obviously I don't have a lot of sacrifice to make when it comes to hair.
First of all, I'm a Rampart teacher, and this is what we do. We stand together with our hero and make sure that in addition to raising money for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, we're also standing with survivors and people battling cancer.
But I feel like if the kids in the classroom get involved, it becomes more of a community thing.
Cancer has affected my family very deeply, and I just pray and hope for a day that we get to cure this awful disease and make the world a better place.
I want people to feel involved in our community and in something that's really bigger than themselves. And I think Bald for Bucks is my favorite day of the year. It's the day I'm proudest to be a Ram, and I think I want others to feel that way too, so I just do the hair thing to get kids involved. As long as I have hair to dye and I'm here at Rampart, I will dye my hair for Bald for Bucks.
Overall, this year's Bald for Bucks Assembly has been able to bring the school closer together and successfully raise awareness for all of those affected by cancer. This has been Ariano Lechuga, reporting for Kram.
Thanks to all who raised money and donated time.
We end today with the final wrap-up of Bald for Bucks and a look at how the event went.
Gabe Flores brings us the story.
Thank you, Brandon. Bald for Bucks is an amazing day here at Rampart. Kram brings you the story.
Bald for Bucks is an annual tradition here at Rampart to raise funds for Blood Cancer United, or BCU for short. This year, we had over 200 students participate across 8 different schools. Kram found out how the event went and why people participated.
Personally, I think it was fantastic. I think there's always little things that you look back on after, especially planning an event for as long as we planned for, that you wish would have gone a little bit tighter, a little better, or timing would have been a little bit different. But overall, I think this was a huge success, and I did get a lot of feedback right after the assembly that said best one yet. So we have a lot of good feelings about it.
I thought the event went really well this year. There was a lot of hard planning that went into it. It took a lot of time to get things right and a whole lot of setup hours, but I think the event was great.
I think that this was probably one of our most successful Bald for Bucks assemblies ever, and I think that it definitely turned out to be what Cora wanted it to be. I met Cora last year at Bald for Bucks, and then we kind of just clicked from there, and we were really, really close friends ever since.
I knew Cora through our nurses who introduced us at our Children's Hospital by Memorial. And it was really cool to get to meet her. We had an instant connection.
We were lucky enough to speak with the Fogel family about Cora and her impact.
She just cared about, she noticed the small things, and we'll mention it again later today, but she just noticed the small things, the things that hurt, the things that were neglected, and she cared about them. And she's always had a fascination with reptiles, to include dinosaurs, just a huge fascination. She even has her own pet, crested gecko. It was particularly active this morning, although this is a really big deal to Cora. She very much appreciated being, designated the hero of this Bald for Bucks. Really looking forward to it, and she did put a lot of energy into it. And so, we feel that she's with us today, a pretty strong presence. Very excited about this.
Thank you to the Fogel family for letting us talk. Finally, we honor our hero child Cora with some final words for her.
Talking to Cora today, I would just tell her, A, I hope she's proud. B, I hope she knows how loved and cared for she is. And C, we miss her.
We were so happy to honor her today, and I hope that the assembly was everything that she wanted it to be.
I would tell her that I'm going to ring the bell for both of us, and that I'll make sure that she is there with us in spirit, and that her memory will live on forever, and that we love her so much.
As of yesterday, we are sitting at a grand total of $61,800. Thank you to everyone who donated to the cause. This has been Gabe Flores reporting for Kram.
Yesterday, it was an awesome day to be around.
You don't have a stew corn today, but student council wanted everyone to know how grateful they are to everyone that helped with the event and honored Cora, our hero child.
We also wanted to remind everyone that there is a blood drive sponsored by the Key Club in LIC on Monday, March 16th. The drive goes from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. 16 and 17-year-olds can give blood with parent consent, and the permission form is on the Key Club Instagram. You can book online through Instagram as well. That's all we have for this week, Rams.
This has been Hosty John
and Brandon Dillon signing off for K-Ram.
Sweet!
This is a blooper. Hi. Before we go to the coverage event.
Coverage event?
Oh. But few. Jean. That was wrong, but okay.
Student council for
That's good.